welcome back once again inside the headset. It's week 4, game 4 is on the horizon. I'm at my last stop. I'm on the campus of Blackman High School, and I got with me the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, head coach Matt Kriesky. How you doing, Don?
Doing good. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, you're getting closer. You know, you're shrinking the point differential, and played a little better this past Friday night. More every game's a step.
Yep. These kids are feeling more comfortable, getting used to what we do offensively and defensively. Thought Carter Gregory had a great game this past Friday. He was able to manage the game. We were able to get everyone lined up, execute, and we were able to score some points. We're this close. We got to be able to finish. We got to be able to play a full 4 quarters game, and that's what our plan is this Friday night.
And that's been the theme with every coach I've interviewed this week. Really, I mean, we're at the point we've played 2 or 3 games. I mean, guys, I need you to take that next step, and that next step, I can't take it. It's on you. You've got to, if you're here. After 48 minutes this Friday night, we got to be at a different place on the Monopoly board, don't we, Coach? I mean, you got to move forward.
Yep, you got to move forward. It's our goal is to win every Friday night. And then it feels a lot better when you're walking off that field a winner. And so these kids have put in the work, done everything we've asked them to do, and so now it's time to go out and finish our goal on Friday night and get the job done.
Well, and sometimes every team is investing a ton of time, a ton of work, and then to understand, and you was 15, 16, I was 15, 16, and it has changed from when you grew up and when I grew up, and they're growing up, and there's different levers now and all kinds of different things going on. But still, when it gets down to it, the game, some of the plays and some of the activities have changed, but it's still a game of inches and time, and you really have to think about what you're doing on Friday night, and then make sure that kind of comes into a motion where you're not thinking. You just go to the ball, and you're already there before the play happens.
Yep, like you mentioned, and there's a lot of distraction these days, and I tell these guys, we need you to lock. When we walk on the practice field, we need you locked in for a very little. Around 2 hours. We try to keep it around 2 hours. We know how they are, so we need you locked in, focused on everything we're doing for 2 hours. Then as soon as you walk out of the practice field, you get back to your social media, all your other distractions that there is nowadays in the world. And that's I think we're seeing it. We're getting better with it. But now we just how bad do we want to win? How bad do we want to complete the mission? How bad do we want to finish the job?
Well, in the feeling of winning, especially in football and with the band and everything else, in that feeling, it's not something you can purchase. It is something you have to work for. And then when you finally get there, you do it with a group of guys that I don't expect all 80 of them to hang out together, but you do something together with some people. But that's a lot like the job force out here and doing things. You've got a group of teachers over there in that building. They're trying to teach young men and young women a little bit about what they need to take the next step, and it takes all those different teachers and all those different philosophies to move them along through the cycle.
It does. It's a team effort. There's a lot of things that are done on football, correlates to the work field. That's what we try to teach these guys. You've got to be on time. You've got to do your job. The expectations of doing everything the right way, not just halfway. So we're not only trying to prepare for a Friday night game, we're also trying to prepare for the future. And in jobs and things, outside of football. Proven
fact, those that do play high school football, they're in that group of people, 70% of them succeed later on in life, and it is an important sport because 1 on 11 doesn't work. That's right. The odds are not there of you succeeding. There's no way. Well, let's talk about Summit. They're on the horizon. What do they like to do? What makes their engine go?
Well, they're a run-heavy football team. I worked with Coach Coleman a year together at Forest and Chapel Hill. So I know some of the things that he wants to accomplish offensively and defensively. They're going to be a physical football team. They're going to try to punch us in the mouth. They're going to run the football. but defensively they're going to fly around and run to the football. They're not going to sit back and wait. They're going to attack. So we've got to be ready for that. We can't sit on our heels and wait for somebody to make a play. We've got to go out and make the play.
Well, and the thing about it is, I think a couple of years ago, the Blaze got Summit in here and they beat up on them pretty bad. So they probably, they don't. That's one thing you don't. It's easy to let the wins kind of drift out of your brain, but boy, those losses, they stick in there pretty deep, don't they? Especially when a team, get you on the ground and kind of beat you up a little bit.
They sure do, and I know Coach coming to have his team prepared, and he's probably mentioned that from the previous years that what happened, and so he's not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, using that as a little bulletin board material. Any shout outs to the faculty, staff, and administration about this past Friday night as you were here at the Inferno? It's always, I'm sure it was rocking.
It sure was. It was a great atmosphere. We appreciate everything that Mr. Lawless, Mr. Smith, the entire administration staff does. And the student body has done a great job coming out and supporting us each Friday night. So we're excited. We can't wait to be back here. And we got two. We'll have Siegel here over 2 more weeks here. So I appreciate everyone's support and just continue.
Well, me and Mr. Lawless, we've been like this since 2009. We've always had a great understanding. We've gotten along great and great relationship with Mr. Lawless. Always have been welcomed here at Blackman High School. And, Stork Vision will be here. It's just a little bit later on in the season. But you've got a compact, I think we were with you the last 3 games. So it'll be all Blaze as we go out the regular season. But we're looking forward to being around. It's just, the one thing about it is I tell everybody it's the way this schedule kind of jumps around, and practically the only game in town Friday night is the Oakland Antioch game. Everybody else is out of town. So, your brother, you don't want to do what your brother's doing. No. He's going to Germantown, so you don't want to go to Germantown. So, no. You know that,
He's got 3 hours and then...
if you lose, it's a long 3-hour home because I hate that road, Coach. Yeah. I mean, out of all of them. I can go to Birmingham and you can just get behind the wheel and the car almost drives itself. But, boy, West Tennessee, you can fall asleep pretty easy on the way to West Tennessee. It'll lull you to sleep about like a wing T offense. All right, everybody, Blackman Blaze fans, load up. That kickoff's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night over at Summit.